Welcome back to Stormin' Norman Says. I am Stormin' Norman. I have things to say, and we're about halfway through the year. In fact, pretty much exactly halfway through the year, give or take. So I thought I'd do an update on notebooks. Let's see where we're at with the notebooks. Intro. So I thought we'd take a look at my notebooks. I want to say it was New Year's video I put out New Year's, or I did a video of all the notebooks I was planning on using this year, what I was going to be using them for, and then I did a follow-up video a month or two later about what was working, what was not working. So that's kind of what we're going to do this time around. Talk about what's working, what ain't working, what I'm using, and what I thought I would like and didn't like. So first up, of course, has to be my planner that I use every day. It's a Moleskin daily planner that I got in this leather case that I bought on Etsy, because trying to find a case for the or don't seem like the right word, a cover, we'll call it that. Trying to find a cover for the Moleskin Daily was not easy. There's like one place on Etsy that had one. Now, if you know of one, maybe let me know. But I think I'm not going to use this next year. This is my second one. I bought the one last year, halfway through the year. So, and I asked for this one for Christmas and got it. And there's a lot of real estate that don't get used on this. So I think we're going to try something else next year. Maybe something I make myself. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, this one, I put my daily stuff in here that I plan on doing. And like I mentioned in the last video that was similar to this one, the same two things every day: read my Bible, read a chapter or a couple paragraphs from a book every day. So that's the first two things that go down, and then after that is whatever I need to do that day: pay bills, work on my Sunday school lesson, just anything I need to do, edit a video, make a video, remind myself to do that sometimes. And it ends up being, see the things I did, there's 4 things I did this day. This was June 5th. Bible, read Psalm 39, read a chapter from a book, I wrote a letter, and did my Sunday school lesson. Wait, no, I did not do neither one of those things. I crossed them out. But see all this extra real estate that I don't really use for nothing. And also, I use this for when I pay a bill, I write down that I paid it, I write down a confirmation number if there is one, so that a month from now, when I'm going like, did I pay that bill last month? I can go back, flip back through the pages and be like, oh yeah, I did pay it. Okay, good, because I forget those things. So this is obviously one I use every day, my planner, though I'm probably going to switch to something else at some point. The second thing that I use on a daily basis is my traveler's notebook. And this was set up quite a bit differently last time I showed it to you, because I had a notebook for each of my channels, but didn't really need it. Didn't really need a notebook for each of my channels. So now I just have a notebook for this channel, because this channel is the one where normally I like to script the intro of the video, though. I didn't do it for this one. And I didn't do it for the last one that y'all just saw about the update on my kilts. But usually I like to script the intro and then keep a list of ideas when I get an idea like, oh, I like to do a video on that. And I'll take it down and write it in the back there. And then I have a pocket with a ruler in it because I need that to draw lines on this part. I don't want to show you those names because that wouldn't be ethical, I guess. But these are, this one, so at work, I used to write down in my planner the name of the installer that I gave the job to and the address for the job. And I post it because I post the job, used to I would post the job, or I would assign a job, and then salesman would be blowing my phone up the next morning like, who'd you give my job to? Who'd you give my job to? So I just wrote it down, and then I take a picture and I post it in the WhatsApp at work. So here's your job, here's who I gave it to. And this also is for, so I know who's been working. Like if there's a guy who hasn't been working, I need to give him work. And if a job gets canceled, like I'm sitting at the house and it's 7 o'clock at night and they text me and say, hey, this job got canceled. Well, I don't know who I gave that job to. So I'm going to have to wait until I get to work in the morning until I can find out and tell them. Now at that point, they're probably already up and on their way to the warehouse. So write it down here. If they text me at 7, say, hey, this job got canceled, I'll just look it up in here and say, I gave that job to so-and-so. And I can text them and be like, hey, don't bother coming tomorrow because your job got canceled. Anyway, and I also keep track of how much pad they're getting if they're getting a carpet job. So I can keep track of pad, how much pad is going out. And that's all I've been using this for. I got some cards for the kilt companies I mainly buy from in the back. Why? I don't know. I just thought I'd put them in there. And that's it for this one. That's all I use it for. I would like to use it for more things, but I'm not sure what that would be. Maybe when I do the planner thing next year, if I move the planner into here, maybe I'll use it for that. But this thing's got the mess beat out of it. And it's got this on it. I don't even know what that is. I can't get it to come off. This thing, which is the whole point. You know, you want them to get wore in, and this thing is getting the absolute mess beat out of it. What else? This is my commonplace book. This is just a generic moleskin pocket and a cover that I got from Etsy. And I've been using this since last year. September of last year, and I went on my trip to the mountains and I scripted out my whole video that I've made over there. If you haven't seen that, you can check it out on my main channel, Wretches and Wrenches. It was one of the last videos I posted before I changed the name to Wretches and Wrenches, but if you go over there, it's called From There to Here. It's like a little movie that I made when I went up to the mountains last year. And then whatever I'm into, if I need to take notes on it, it goes in here. Like I got notes on how to journal. I got notes on how to make better YouTube videos. Quite a few of those in here. I got specs. If you saw, I just recently posted a video of the new gun I got. I got specs. All the guns I was looking for, or guns I was looking at buying when I was doing my research, and I wrote down all the specs for each one. I got Fallout 4. I've been playing Fallout 4, and I got a bunch of notes about the game on there. And just whatever I'm into, whatever I need to write down, whatever I may need to take notes on, I do. And I'm just now realizing, now that we're 10 minutes into this video, that I was going to do my overhead camera thing. I got it all set up and now I just completely forgot about it. But anyway, and this is the Amazon Basics pen I talked about in the video a while back. that I just usually stick like that on there on the traveler's notebook. Lastly, the thing that totes around in my bag every day, my brand, is the Murder Creative number 5. We've done 2 videos on this one, and everybody seems to like it. I like it. This one serves 2 purposes. First, I got this little dinky pin in there, which I do not like, but it fits. So I take this to church and take notes of my pastor's sermon when he's preaching, or whatever preacher happens to be there. Like we had a revival a while back, and I did notes for that. Try to write down his points, and if he says anything that I want to write down, I put it in there. And I've learned it's a pretty good way to help you stay awake, because I'm not one to get up early, and I am one to stay up late. So Sunday mornings I'm usually kind of sleepy. So that's worked out well. And then the other function of it, I take it to church on Sundays, take notes, and then throughout the week it stays in my bag, and I'll write prayers. If I come up, I just want to pray, I'm at work, and sometimes writing prayers is, better than saying them. And so I write down some prayers. Not every day. It's not an everyday. I mean, I pray every day, but I don't write my prayers down every day. So that's what I use this for. And I am almost halfway through it. Maybe not quite halfway. Maybe like 35-40% through it. And I dig it. I dig this whole setup. I want to buy the Murdy Creative. Did I say this was number 5? Oh, it's number 7. Number 7. My bad. But I want to get the bigger one and try it out. But I'm in no hurry at the moment because I got a bunch of notebooks already. But this thing is so... I just love holding it. It feels so good in my hands. So that is the notebooks that I use every day. Mostly. Okay, the commonplace book, maybe not every day, but these other 3 I pretty much use every day. So that's how that's worked out. Now what has not worked out is, and it's not really some of these things that has not worked out, like my poetry journal, or my poetry notebook, I think I mentioned in the last video. Like I still use this, it's just I don't use it enough to justify me carrying it around, because this is part of the reason these were getting beat all to hell, because they just rub against each other and there wasn't enough room in there for them. So I keep this at the house, and I haven't really been inspired to write lately, so I figured if I get inspired to write, I'll grab it, throw it in the bag. It'll be fine. This pen is probably dried up, and I probably don't have to clean it. I already got a couple fountain pens that I haven't been using enough that I need to clean up. This was my cheap... Who did I say this was from? I can't remember. This is one of those well-known companies. This is their traveler's notebook, copy, clone, whatever. And this was my financial tracker, where I would write down my bills so I wouldn't forget them, because I have a habit of doing that and they don't get paid. So I would write down my bills, like this week when I get paid, these are the bills I need to pay, and I'd check them off as I paid them. And that worked up until, let me see, when was the last time I wrote in it? May 14th was the last time I wrote in it. And it was just like, I would forget. I would just forget about it and not keep up with it. And now I've got to the point where I'm like, it'd be a whole lot easier for me to use the calendar on my phone, set up a task for when my bills are due. And so every Tuesday, if I've done it correctly, which I also forget that sometime too, but if I've done it correctly, then Tuesday, when my paycheck drops around 5:30, I get home from work around 4. So after I've gotten a shower and I've, sitting here, 5:30 comes around, my phone goes ba-ding and says, hey, here's the bills you need to pay today. So this financial tracker was a good idea, but not the best idea. And then the other one in here was my book log, where I was writing down books I read, the date I read it, and how many pages. And I got this idea from Park Notes on YouTube, and cool idea, just not for me. Not for me. I do not. Part of the reason some of these notebooks fall by the wayside is I just don't have time to keep up with 47 notebooks and make sure that I write in them. And my Bulletproof Husband journal, I don't hardly write in that thing, but maybe once or twice a month, which I'm not proud to say that. I want to get back into writing it, but it's just to the point now where my writing, like when you start journaling, especially if you're not used to doing it, eventually your style changes and the way you want to write it changes, and you just kind of get tired of saying the same thing. And I'm to the point now, like y'all know my story. I'm assuming I've told you about me and my wife being separated for 2 years, and I'm just at the point now where I just don't care. Either, let's work it out or file for divorce. Like, I don't even care. Just do something. But that shouldn't dissuade me from writing in it, but I just might start writing, and I'm like, who cares, man? Just who cares? But I need to get remotivated on that, because journaling, I believe, is important to your mental health. Now let's talk about a notebook that didn't work out. My financial tracker. Seems like there was more than that, but I don't know. Another thing that didn't work out was I bought 2 of these. Oh, there's another one. This was the one I was talking about. My Galen Leather Traveler's Notebook. Oh, it's got dust all over it. It's dusty. What was I using this for? This was my other books. Yeah, from my other channels. And then a blank one in the back because I just needed to put it somewhere. But yeah, that one didn't work out either, even though I really love this book. Really love it. But that's not what we're talking about for now. We're talking about things that I did not like. These pen holders. I bought one in black for this, and I bought one in brown for my TN. And let me show you how they work. It's got the clip on them. You clip them onto this, and then you put your pen in there, or 2 pens, whatever. And I thought that was going to be great. I'm like, man, this is going to be awesome. And then it turns out I don't like it. It's one of those things, like, you look at it and you're like, man, that looks awesome. I really like that. But whenever you get to using it, you're like, this is not practical at all. Because you have to take it off. Like, if you want to use the book, you take the pen out, you're going to write in it, you put it on the table, and now you got this big old hump that won't let your page lay down flat, so you end up having to take it off and then put it back on. I don't want to do that. I don't want to take a bunch of mess off my notebook just so I can use it, which is kind of like I'm not sure about. Like, I love this. I love what you can do with it, but also sometimes I have to take it off. Like, if I'm at work and I'm writing down installers, like, that thing can kind of get in the way there, but I got another use for this whenever I'm writing in my Sunday school book, which is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I just take this, clamp it right there in the middle, and it holds it open for me. So I definitely don't hate it. I love it, and I loved it when it was in here because like this one notebook where I write down stuff for this channel, like I could take this clip and clip it right there and use it as a bookmark. So anytime I open that notebook again, it's where I left off, writing down stuff for this channel. So I don't hate this. I'm just not as in love with it as I want to be. And this just didn't work out because it's just not practical. Like if you like to take stuff off your notebook just in order to use it, then by all means, but wasn't for me. I reckon that's about it. That's about all the notebooks I used. The ones that didn't work out, I'm probably missing some. I don't see them. I need to clean this shelf off. The shelf that's directly underneath this camera is where I usually keep notebooks and stuff, and it is a mess. It's a mess. Anyway, appreciate y'all stopping by. I know a lot of y'all subscribe to the channel for notebook content, so I want to make sure I get you some every now and then, and give y'all an update on notebooks I'm using and what didn't work out. What didn't work out for you? What did you buy, whether it be a notebook or an accessory for a notebook, that you thought you were going to love, and after a while you're just like, this thing kind of stinks? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, appreciate y'all subscribing. We just broke 25 subscribers, which is like, ain't a lot, but when you consider the fact that I didn't start this channel for any particular reason, I just started this channel so I could do dumb stuff that I can't do on my other channel. So we're growing pretty good, actually. Like, I did not expect that. So if you subscribed to the channel recently, I appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed, it don't cost nothing. There's a little button right underneath my face down here. Click it, don't cost you nothing, and magic happens. You just see videos from me from now on. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But thank you all for joining me today. It is July 4th. It will not be July 4th when you see this, because I'm working on another video also today. Actually, it's going to take me a couple of days, but should be out Monday the 8th. So this video will probably be out maybe the end of next week, maybe the 12th or something like that. I'm not real sure. So it'll be like a week before you see this video. But happy July 4th anyway. And my birthday is the 10th. So anyway, appreciate y'all. Hope y'all enjoy y'all's holiday today, even though it's going to be over by the time you see this. I am Stormin' Norman. I have said things. Y'all have a good day.